Hello, my name is Dino Lozina. I'm engineer over at Macrometa. Macrometa is a platform that enables developers to build globally distributed applications that maintain state and consistency across all locations. In this short demo, I will show you one new feature that we added to the platform recently. You can query Macrometa platform with various query languages, and from now on you can use SQL. SQL was for decades reserved to query relational databases and databases that live on premise. Many developers and database administrators are used to SQL and use SQL every day. That's why we brought SQL to the edge. You can now use SQL to query data that maintains state across up to 175 locations globally. You can get the data from Macrometa platform in various ways. You can use an API key, you can use one of our SDKs, or you can use command line interface. In this demo, I will show you how you can get the data with command line interface. You need to create or log in into your Macrometa account. When you log in, you will see this dashboard. This dashboard actually presents all points of presence that the user has on his account. It can go up to 175 points of presence or location. If we go to menu collections, we can see various collections that live on this platform. And I have created one document collection called MBA for the purposes of this demo. If I were to go to MBA and then I can see the data here. We have only 5 documents, and each document has a couple of fields that are actually informations about NBA players, such as age, college, height, and all the rest of it. Since our command line interface is built with JavaScript, you will have to have Node installed. We support Node 14 plus, and you can check what versions of Node you have installed with Node version. I'm on 16, so I'm okay. And then I can go to npm package manager. Our command line interface is called gdnsl, and you can just copy paste this command into your terminal to install command line interface. I did that beforehand, so I will just check have I installed it. I can run gdnsl version, and I can see I have the latest version of command line interface. If you haven't done gdnsl init, you will need to actually run that command, and let me show you how to do it. gdnsl init, and basically command line interface is asking you for credentials and URL. The first thing is gdn URL. If you go back to the dashboard, you can go to GeoFabrics. You can go to any fabrics, but for the sake of this demo, let's go to default system fabric. And on the right hand side, you will find the URLs. And let's just type test. And the email is basically email of our Macrometa account. I will type my name. And then we need an API key. API key is easy to create. If you go to account and if you go to API keys, you can create a new API key. I already did this in it, so I will not continue with this setup. Let's clear everything here. And now we are all set to query data with SQL. I can go to npm. We have an extensive documentation of commands that our command line interface actually supports. If we scroll a little bit down, we can find actually GDNSL query. If we dig deeper, we can see the command explanation, command usage, and the flags that we actually support. And the most interesting flag for us is this SQL flag here that we will use while we are writing queries. So let's just write a simple query. I want to get all the documents in collection. If I would to write GDNSL query and double quotes, inside those double quotes I'm writing SQL command, and I will use the typical SQL command. We support let's say SQL that has a Postgres flavor, but this will work on any platform, I would say. Select all from MBA, and let's add SQL flag. And as we can see, we have 5 results in our second object called result. But we have one object that is called stats, where we can see the query stats, such as execution time, peak memory usage, and what we scanned for. We scanned for full collection, and our collection contains 5 entries, so this is also fine. Let's clear this. And let's say that we want to get specific data from the collection. I will just copy paste the command. Everything is the same, GDNSL query, but the expression in the double quotes is a little bit different because we introduced where, and basically a filter. We are filtering for a key 22. And we can see that we have only one result and we only scanned one index here. So let me just clear this, and now I just want to update that entry. I will change the name of the player. I will write my own name. So everything is basically the same except the expression in the double quotes again. We are using update MBA set name to my name, and the key is 22. Now we can see that write is actually executed, but I want to check that data under key 22, and I'm selecting that particular key. And I can see that the name actually changed here. And I can see that scanned index is 1 again. Let's just clear. And since I'm not an MBA player, I want to delete that entry, last entry that we updated. And I can use that with expression delete from MBA where key 22. Again, from stats, I can see that write is actually executed. And let's just search for data under key 22. The result is empty array, basically. Let me just clear. And I want to return my collection as it was before this test. So I will insert the data into the missing data into the collection again. So let me just copy paste, and this is a long query statement, but let me explain what happens here. Inside double quotes, we have insert into MBA, and the first bracket here contains keys or the fields of the document, and the second bracket is self-explanatory. We can see the values that we are inserting into the document. So if I run this query, I can see that write is executed, and basically let's just search what is there under key 22. I can see that the real MBA player is again in our document collection, and we can just skim over our document collection in the collections, and we can again see that we have 5 documents with the data as it was beforehand. So this concludes our demo. I can't wait to see what you have built.